I had a monster weekend. It was great. Did water gun fights, balloons. My kid had his 14th birthday yesterday. Man, when it's like I'm over the top. I'm the Griswold dude. I'm like, we're going to have a great time. Now, I don't say we're going to have a great time, but I'm like, I'm doing all this stuff. I don't make any plans, but I'm like, I'm going to have fun today. Y'all want to join me? Let's get after it. And so we do. And so my 14-year-old, who is nonstop, like 24 hours a day, metabolism of a gnat. I mean, the dude's like a chipmunk on crack. He just doesn't stop. And so we got a bunch of birthday stuff. He wanted to start early, so like at 2 o'clock, we went to church, did the Waffle House thing, and then after I got a Waffle House story I want to show you. But then after that, we just got after it. I mean, I was like, "You are not wearing me out today." And
You're the most optimistic person I've ever met. I know only a few people who are as optimistic at the core.
Well, thank you.
As you are. No, I mean, and that ain't easy.
Life is good, man.
Well, no, but there's a lot of people, myself included, who are not as. I mean, there are people who tend to see the brighter side. But you can like literally look at anything and approach it in a positive way. Not always happy.
Yeah.
But that ain't. Well, let me say this: you can learn to do that. There's a lot of research that shows that you can learn to do that, but it's freaking hard.
I think as you get older, it should get harder to do, but for me, it gets a lot easier because I'm losing friends. Yeah. I mean, it's like every week I'm losing somebody or I'm hearing about somebody's kid or something, and I'm just kind of like, it's just, you just don't ever know where you're going to go, and I'm just going like, I mean, every little pain, every little tweak is like it could be cancer. I mean, you just don't know, and then we're getting through this COVID crap, and time is going by too fast. I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of every moment. I try. And people are like, oh, this is great. Ooh, you take advantage of every moment you got. You're such an asshole. No, I mean, that's just the way I am. And I know it's sometimes it's a little over the top for some people, particularly my kids. My son's like, dude. And I'm like, let's go, man. Let's go, man. It's not raining for the next 45 minutes. Let's go outside and do something.
It's really good.
Yeah.
We need more people in this world like you.
But I
can't go there.
But I'm not the guy running down the street at 4 o'clock in the morning. Good morning. Good morning.
No, but yours is like the problem with that. Yeah. Obviously, if that's who you are and it goes to your core, great. But a lot of times people like that. That's overcompensating for something.
Yeah.
Right. That's the self-affirmation. I'm happy this morning. Which. See, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't be snarky because that is one of the ways that you learn to be more optimistic is to literally fill yourself with optimistic, happy experiences. This is, what was it? Stuart Smalley.
Yeah.
I'm good. But there is,
Stuart Smalley.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough and doggone it, people like me or love me. But I'm telling you, in psychotherapy, that's essentially what we get people to do. We don't tell them to just say that. We don't tell them to just say that.
Yeah.
But what we do ask people to do, particularly those who are depressed, and they can't see the world through more optimistic eyes, we tell them to go out and interact with people.
Is there something to be said? We've talked about this on the show, and I know it works at a small dosage level.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do it for fake it till you make it. People always talk fake it till you make it. Put a smile on your face. We know scientifically there are things that happen when you smile. It makes things and it makes people happier towards you, and that brings you joy and da-da-da-da-da. When you're really feeling pain, it's difficult to always look like you're okay and I'm fine and da-da-da-da-da. But fake it till you make it. Does it work?
I wouldn't say fake it till you make it, but what I would say is fill yourself with positive thoughts about your life. So what I mean by that is it's not just faking it like I'm pretending to be happy. It's what are positive things in my life? Can I name 3 things that are positive in my life? So what you're doing is instead of faking it, you're forcing your brain to focus on anything that brings you joy. And it doesn't have to be over the top joy. I mean, literally down to, well, not your shoes, but
not
my
shoes.
Like literally, like this plant is attractive to me.
Yeah, it really is.
No, but so it's different than faking it, because I think the problem with faking it is a lot of people go around and say, I'm going to fake it till I make it. I'm happy. I'm feeling happy. And inside your head is going, BS. But if you say to yourself, what am I grateful for? What are 2 or 3 things that do make me happy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not a nice day, but what a nice day outside. If you,
It is a nice day.
No, it's not.
It is a very
it's
nice
hotter
day.
than crap, and
No,
it's raining.
nice. It's a beautiful
muggy.
day.
I guess it's
We're
good for
sitting
you, but
inside doing
shut
radio. Don't have
up.
to worry
See,
about
this is the problem.
It's a beautiful day.
No, but I will.
is.
But if you do that,
Yeah.
instead of faking, if you force yourself to think about things that are good in your life, even if they're simple,
Yeah.
you are more likely to flip and be more optimistic.
And I got to smoke a cigar with my best bud on Saturday.
Yeah, also like
Went
that.
to church. The bells rang extra. I mean, it was just good. I mean, it was just a great weekend.
But you see, like if you did that, if you were feeling really down, let's say you're feeling really down today, you go, I'm feeling really down. I want to feel good. I want to feel happy, and it's just not happening.
Yeah.
What I would say to you is, okay, tell me what you did this weekend. Tell me 3 things you did this weekend that you thought were nice. They don't have to be able to top.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, my kid had a birthday, and there were no major catastrophes. No one got hurt. I got to smoke a cigar,
Yeah.
and I got to sit in the pool.
There you go.
If you do that every day,
Someone, by the way, asked if we were sitting in the deep end of your pool.
Sitting in
Are
the
you
deep
sit? Are you?
end?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
like, are those
We
chairs in the deep end? I'm
Yes,
like, yeah,
we
we're
can-
really tall people.
we walk on water.
I learned something about social media this weekend. Finally, I've been on social media for 15 years.
If you put pictures of 2 men,
Put
and
2 guys
cigars,
smoking cigars or a picture of your son, you're going to kill it. I just posted 2. I posted a couple things.
Yeah, nobody
For
cares.
some reason, you and me. Someone said
Every
that someone said that I look like a transvestite or something. I said I was going for my Elliot Page look, and they said you look like Rosie O'Donnell with your wife beater shirt on. You look like a male Rosie O'Donnell.
I'm pale now because I'm trying to. I don't want
Yeah.
to get skin cancer.
Yeah,
because I'm
exactly.
getting
And you had
older.
your hat on. You look
I
like
did. I
you're-
took my hat off for the picture.
You look like a poor man's Indiana Jones is what you look like. So yeah. So
Hey,
we
that's
we
my-
post that thing, and I think I don't know. Like last I checked, it was like 3,500 views of us smoking a cigar by the pool, and I'm
And
like,
it's just a picture.
it's just a picture. We're doing nothing. We were going to do Facebook Live, but we probably should have. And then I posted, you know how I am about posting things in my family
Well, yeah, you
for sake of just getting retweets and reposts. Okay, but I'm thinking,
Oh, I see. So when you hammer on me about doing it, it's because you think I'm just trying to do it for retweets and reposts.
well, I know
But
you
when
are.
do-
I know
no,
you are.
how do
You walking
know?
down the beach holding your son's hand or holding
That's
your
my
girl
daughter.
or your
That-
daughter's hand,
How's
and
that
then
any
you post
different?
the beach of life. We're all just grains of sand on the beach. It's bull
I don't
crap.
do
It's
that.
like, oh, whatever.
No,
Your
see, so
Instagram
what's the
post,
difference? Well, yeah, what
and you
about
put
your
music
stuff?
behind it. You're producing it.
No, that's the
You're-
Instagram. No, but like, I put pictures of my.
I kept
me-
it short and sweet. Just said, it's changed my life. Love this
Yes,
kid.
and
Blah
it's
blah
wonderful.
blah. And I knew it was going to
And
blow
it's
up.
no different than me doing it.
Yeah, and I made sure that I wasn't in the picture because I don't want to steal any thunder. So a lot of people put their picture on. They keep saying I, and I made sure that I only put 2
I
eyes in
don't
there.
do that. No, I don't.
Dude, go look at your Instagram.
I have Instagram or Facebook.
It's all
different.
it's
No,
all
it's not the
pictures.
same.
It's all pictures of hydrochloric acid for your pool and
That's
your
on-
wife
that's
and
on-
your kids jumping through hoops and playing lawn jarts and going, look, we're a happy family again, just like 3 minutes ago. And I'm like, come on, dude. People don't want to see that.
So do you? Well, first of all, you don't put that on your Instagram.
So, but I think that's why my stuff blows up because I don't post a
But
lot
hey,
of stuff.
it blows up.
Yeah, when I
blows
posted that
up.
thing about
Go-
my mom several months ago, it was huge.
Viral. So like 800.
It could have been a
people
blog.
look at
It was
I know.
huge.
That's the thing around my house. That's
Yeah.
the thing around my
phone
house.
is scrolling right now.
I put it in my house. I run around telling people it's going viral. My kids are like, "How many views you got?"
800.
35.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
percentage-wise, compared to one,
Yeah.
it's blowing.
I got
up.
some likes, but I got some.
See, but
yeah.
you did. But see, so why do you put it up there?
And the funny thing
Huh.
is, my son thinks he's a train. He thinks he's
Right.
Edward from Thomas the Train, and so I said, "Happy birthday, Edward," and I put it in quotes, and so everyone's like,
Yeah, and my daughter.
"Who the hell's Edward?"
My daughter
but
read
they're
it.
like,
She's
"Okay, happy birthday, Edward."
My
Yeah.
daughter read it, and she's like, "Who's Edward? I thought his name was Xavier."
So I wasn't all happy, kumbaya, flowers, birds landing on my shoulders, Snow White kind of thing.
What
So we
happened?
went to church. It was raining. It was great. I had a good time.
You just
Praise
said
the
it's all
Lord.
great.
No, it was all good. So my son, his birthday, and I said, look, we'll go to Waffle House, and the parking lot was not that full. And I was like, okay, this is good. The Waffle House down the street. And by the way, I like Waffle House. There's an etiquette at Waffle House.
I've
right?
never been to Waffle House.
Like if you don't bowl very often, I know who you are. because you don't know bowling etiquette.
That's right.
You get on the aisle next to someone else bowling. You go to the bathroom and don't take your shoes off. You do some things, and I'm not, I'm a 135 average kind of guy.
Don't get on the lane
you're dropping popcorn. You do bowling etiquette. I can tell you don't bowl very much. You're just going out for a kid's birthday or whatever, and you're wreaking havoc, and you put the gutter bumpers up. Yeah, you don't know what you're doing, right? So if you go into a Waffle House, you know who eats at Waffle House and who doesn't, okay? It is a little soup Nazi-like. Some people are kind of rude, some people aren't, but we're too cool with it. You seat yourself.
Really?
They come to you. They're quick. You're in and out. Waffle House is in a place where you congregate for like an hour. It's not Fleming's. It's not like Logan's Roadhouse where you're going to sit and have the whole family. You don't ever see more than 4 people. Half the people are hungover as hell, particularly on Sunday mornings, and you give those people a pass.
I thought that's church place, post-church.
Oh, it's post-hungover, too. There was a couple of gals in there that they were drunk. And they looked like college
Sunday
kids.
Morning?
Yeah. Oh, it was like 9:30. They were drunk.
And
I was like, it was me 2 weeks ago. Anyway, so I'm sitting there with my son, who is constantly moving.
Right.
He's got special needs. He's constantly moving, and we're good. He's headbutting me, and I'm like, knock it off, Right. And then my daughter, who was Daddy's little girl, and then my other son, he's trying to stay the hell away from us. He's as far away from us as he possibly can. He's standing on the outside of the building while I'm inside. He's like, knock it off, stop it. So we're sitting there, and there's not any tables available. But we're the only ones waiting, so I know we're getting the next one, right? So it's about 9:30. So I'm sitting there, so I'm looking around, and I see a guy and a girl, obviously not churchgoers. They look like hell. He had his underwear hanging out of her shoe, and she was like, her makeup was falling off her face. They looked like they had an all-nighter or whatever, and they're sitting there eating, and they're not talking. They're just eating, right? And because church,
so judgy.
That's
what. Yeah.
No. I promise you, they didn't go to church.
They could have just.
And so then there's a church going bunch, and he's wearing a suit and stuff like that. And then there's a woman sitting with it appears to be her daughter and her child. Okay. And they're sitting there, and they're done. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're kind of being loud a little bit. My son's bumping into the glass.
Yeah.
He's rambunctious. He's like, I'm hungry, and I was like, chill out. It's cool. I mean, we weren't making a scene or anything, but I was like, we were being. People knew we were in the restaurant. Let's put it that way. Okay. He's dropping things, and I was getting a cup of coffee. I spilled my coffee and stuff. So I'm standing there, and so I'm looking over the side. And she's to the left-hand side of the bar, and I'm kind of looking. I'm like, okay, well, they're done. Yeah. They're going to be up in a minute. Now, Waffle House etiquette, when you're done,
you leave.
You get your ass out of the restaurant, particularly if there's people waiting for a seat. Yeah. If I'm in a regular restaurant, if I'm at Fleming's, if I'm at Perry's Steakhouse, and I see there's a long line and we're done. Now, if I'm spending $200-$300, I'm renting space. Okay, I'm going to take my time. We're going to have a little coffee. We may have it. Oh, we changed our mind. I think we'll have a little dessert. But then you normally don't have to wait for a seat like that. Okay. At a Waffle House, where you're dropping $25 for 6 waffles and some grits and hash browns covered, smothered, and chunked, I'm like, okay, we're going to sit around. You're going to get your ass up and leave, and it's Sunday morning because most people want to go back home and go to bed or watch some Joel Osteen or something or some Curious George or whatever. So I'm sitting there, so I'm waiting, and I'm looking over at her, and she starts eating off her daughter's plate. I can't even see her daughter because of the bar. She's eating off her daughter's plate, and she's kind of picking around, but she's done. And her plate is empty. She looks like she licked the plate. She must have weighed about 400 pounds. She looked like she licked the plate. Jeez. She's like taking the ketchup off the side of the plate. So I'm sitting there going, okay, well, and Santo, my son's like, dude, they've been done for like 10 minutes. Why don't they leave? And I said, they should. And there was no chairs because you can't have chairs because no one could sit too close to each other, despite the fact that we weren't mad. So there was no chairs. And so I'm like, yeah, no, but maybe they got. Maybe this is the only time she gets to see her daughter. Maybe she's visiting with her daughter, and this is custody issues, and this is the only time. Or maybe the child normally isn't good in restaurants, and she's being really good, and she's there enjoying their time. So what are you going to give them some time? I'm trying.
Okay.
This is like the dude that goes really slow, left through a light, and you miss the light, and I think, well, maybe he's got an open thing of paint in the front seat, doesn't want to spill it.
That's pathetic.
I know, it really is, right? But that's how I talk myself through it, right?
God.
So I'm saying, 10 minutes. And it's 15 minutes. And it's 20 minutes.
All right.
She gets up. She gets the check. Finally asks for the check. I don't know. And you normally, Waffle House people, they give you the check before you're done eating.
How often do you go to Waffle House?
About once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Normally, they drop the check off right when they serve your meal because
Yeah,
that is, okay, when you're done, pay this and get out.
Yeah.
We got people waiting here
Right.
because Waffle Houses are typically small. There's not like 100 different booths at a Waffle House. So she gets the check. So she gets up. She goes and pays for the check. She goes back and sits her ass down again and settles in. And I'm standing there. She's got to walk past me, and my kid, trips her. She looks back, and I'm like, hey, good morning.
But nobody else is left in this time?
No one else is. Well, they were the last one. Everyone else was still eating, so I had nothing wrong with no one else because they were all still eating. They looked like they were kind of being rapid. They knew that we were waiting. And so she sits down, and she sits back, and now she's on her phone. She's sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at her phone.
Because she paid her money and she's going to spend her time.
Yeah, she spent her $14 for an omelet. She's sitting there and I'm going.
$14 for an omelet?
And I'm kind of going.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking.
Get that at Paris.
And so my son nudges me. He's like, why don't you go up there and ask her, say, hey, listen, are you guys done?
No.
And I was like, I can't.
You can't do that.
I said, I can't do that. I said, but if I were ever going to do it, this would be the time. And so the woman behind the bar sees this happening.
This is a whole.
She knows, and she says, your booth will be ready in just a minute, sir. I'm sure someone's going to get up and leave.
Oh.
She knows Waffle House etiquette because she's worked there for 35 years.
You know what we call that? That's called social cueing.
Exactly.
Right.
No one takes the cue. And of course there's only these three ladies.
What happened to the drunk couple with the underwear hanging
They're
out?
still eating. They're over there. She's rubbing her eye, and I think he's playing with her under the table or something.
Maybe they're having Bible study.
And I'm going, okay, that's your cue. If we were all standing there going, fine, then I could see where they go. They're good. They probably just, because maybe I've got visitation with my kids. Right. And maybe we like standing in a Waffle House for 25 minutes while I wait for your fat ass to finish your waffle.
Is there a point here?
My point is, you need to get out. It was just rude. And my point is we have not figured out how to get back out again.
Oh, I like that.
We talked about the games. We talked about the fights.
Yes.
We're sucker punching Asian people in subways. I mean, we're not, and I can't believe that a year removed, we're like flipping cavemen again. I mean, like, what the hell's wrong? People are honking each other.
That's right.
If you sit at a light for a fraction of a second, come on, let's go. Yeah. I got to go to Home Depot. I'm like, it's open again. Let's go. I'm like, what is wrong? And I thought for sure it was going to be like a Woodstock 2 thing where it was going to be.
No.
So,
it's exactly the opposite.
And I'm just kind of like.
Did you see that?
And so quite frankly, she was incredibly rude.
Did you throw?
She saw my situation. I don't expect anyone to treat my family any differently just because of the challenge we have in our room. But as an etiquette, particularly at a Waffle House, you should know to get your butt up and move out because they could have done what they were doing in the car.
Well, they probably saw you having a face, and they said, I'm going to sit here even longer.
No, I didn't make a face.
Oh, no,
no, I did not.
Yeah, and actually, you're really good at that.
I sat there and just kind of.
If it would have been me,
and I was sitting there tickling my kid.
Yeah, you're good.
I was tickling my kid.
Good about that.
And I was totally. But so we waited 22, 23 minutes,
Jeez.
and by that time, 3 other tables left. So. Not only, that should tell you how rude she was, she sat there for 25 minutes despite she was not eating. The other 3 people knew that there was about a 25, 30-minute eating time.
Yes.
They should have timers on the table. They should have like chess, pop it, and you're done. You get about 30 minutes of Waffle House. If you can't eat your meal at Waffle House in 30 minutes, then you don't need, then you need to scramble your eggs at home.
Maybe it's the first time they're visiting.
Well, and I try to take all that into account. They knew what was going on, and so they finally slump out. She's got her flip flops on.
Okay,
and I'm like,
why don't you let it
go? And they finally leave. So I finally sit down, and then the dude who's clearing the tables, who's got some special needs himself, a super nice kid. He's like, I hadn't cleaned the table yet. I said, I don't care. I said, we're sitting down. I said, I'll eat the crumbs. We're hungry. And he goes, okay, well, I'm about to clean around you. I said, that's fine. His name's Josh. And I was like, that's fine, Josh. He's like, thanks. And I left him a tip again. Anyway, I just rude, inconsiderate. Yeah. She could stay as long as she wants. She paid her meal. Right. She could stay at Waffle House for 5 hours if she wanted. But that's not Waffle House etiquette. And anyone that works at Waffle House, including the waitress who said, by the way, hey, your table will be ready. She was right over top of her table will be ready. It'll be open in just a second. That was her cue of, hey, everybody, finish up so this family can sit down.
But maybe she hasn't been out for a year. Look. Did you see the
rude?
Did you see the viral video? It's been a little while. See the viral video of the woman on the Southwest plane that punched the teeth out of? Yeah.
What are we doing?
The nation is why it is because we're turning on each other because we don't have a reason to unite. Because we don't have a real
that's
threat.
good. I'll bet there's a psychologist behind that.
Isn't that
that's
a cool,
genius?
Like, yeah.
That was the movie scene.
Yeah, that was the movie.
Oh no, I thought.
that was why they.
I thought you were no. That makes.
But I feel like there's some truth to that.
Totally makes sense. I mean, if you think about it, it and it's more than a year because we've been. I mean, since the Trump presidency, we've been. I mean, we've been divided for a long time, but we've been more aggressively divided. I'm not blaming President Trump, but it was moving that way, and then you threw the pandemic on it. Right, which became so politicized, which did not help. And then you got mask versus not mask, the whole thing. And then you do what we can't stand in this country, which is we basically told everybody to go to your rooms. Yeah. Go to your rooms and you don't get to come out. And so now, right? And so people are just, it's pent up. It's pent up. And you're right. What you would expect is we come out and we're like, oh, thank gosh, we're out. Oh, so good. I'm glad you're out. Here, please take my seat because neither of us have been able to eat at Waffle House for a year. It's the other way around. We're petulant little children. Get out of my way. I haven't been to Waffle House. But you're seeing it on the streets. You're seeing it. And what to me, what's so sad about it is we saw it during the pandemic with the whole mask versus not mask and people not wearing masks, people getting each other's space. We are so immature as a society when it comes to controlling our impulses. This is where you're really good. You're far better than me in this. You know how to, but you know how. And what's happening right now is we've just gotten out of our rooms and we get to play with all our toys and if we're going to use this analogy, and there's a bunch of other kids trying to play with our toys right now. And we just got out of our rooms. And so what are we doing? We're kicking them out of the way. Don't touch my toy. Get out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, playing with your toys, that's a little different. I don't know if I'd use that analogy because everyone's toys is everyone's toys. I mean, when you're going out to a restaurant. The other thing that I think is kind of weird is then we went out and had dinner last night for his birthday. And we went to a restaurant. I'm not going to name it because they may do some advertising with us. The first thing I get is, hey, I'm sorry we're short-staffed tonight.
Yeah, they are.
I'm like, you know what? That's like saying I'm tired. I'm sorry. Everyone's short-staffed. I'm here to eat. Are you going to serve me or not?
Well, see, look at you. You're already doing it.
Well, I know. And
but you're doing.
I didn't say that. I was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. She goes, I know. And she slumped over. She's like,
yeah,
I know. I've been working a double,
hours.
But I don't want to hear that. I'm not here to hear about your double shift and about your family problems. I'm here to be entertained. You're serving me, and if you want a nice tip, you're going to work through it.
But you played right into it. You played right into it, which is.
So I said, okay.
No compassion. No compassion.
It took me 35 minutes to get a piece of chicken cooked. They serve a meal where you get half a fried chicken, and she goes, by the way, you don't have a thigh. And I said, I was wondering why I was walking funny. And she goes, it'll be out in a second. And I said, okay. I finished the entire meal, and she said, we're still working on that thigh. And I said, did you have to go kill the chicken? I didn't hear anything balk. And I said, really? And she goes, yeah. And I said, this is going to be she goes, well, I want to make sure it's fresh. I'm like, well, yeah, make sure it's fresh chicken. And so on the way out, she gives it to me, and she goes, here's your chicken thigh. I forgot to give you a chicken thigh.
Because she also thought maybe put on a few pounds.
And of course,
I want to eat that thigh later. Now, we are, anybody who thinks that the whole reemergence and back to normal, we are so far from back to normal. And it doesn't take, if it was a couple weeks, it'd be great. It's like, a snowstorm or water break or whatever, and people get out. This has been, and it's still not exactly done. It's been a year. It does not take humans that long to undo habits. And then when you put them back out there, it takes them a while to adapt.
I can't believe that we took 5, 6, 7, 8,000 years, whatever it is, to get to the point where we can be compassionate, empathetic, and considerate, educated, all those things, and in 1 year it's just gone to total hell.
Because it's under the surface.
It's super easy.
Yes.
This is not like being at we have the dream where you miss an entire school year and you got to go back and you're so far behind. This ain't that. This is not educated. This is not numbers. This is not mathematics. This is not word power. This is emotional. Just being human and saying it's great to see another human being. I will hug you. Good to see you. And it has no political stance. It has nothing to it. It's just being nice to people. And I'm sitting there going, I got people honking at me, and I'm like, dude, well, chill out.
Because
just
I'm
everyone chill out. I'm like, go back. I hope the pandemic comes back. Let's get some variants going. Seriously, everyone take your mask off because I liked it that way. I don't have to see you crazy assholes in my restaurant and on my roads because you can't wait 5 seconds. We have people parking in the parking lot at the church. I'm like, dude, we're at a church parking lot. Be human.
This is no.
What's wrong with you?
This is what he was saying.
Where is forgiveness?
Isn't that part of being human? I mean, you just have.
It's important.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No,
Tony,
it's forgiveness.
It is. No.
We're all back into this together.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
We're not in it together.
And none of us have seen each other.
No.
It's like, you know what it is? It's Christmas family.
Yeah.
We see each other once a year, and you know what? We get through it, and we love each other because we're all different. You banged a girl up in November. You have a child now. I did not know that. There's Crazy Eddie who likes to molest my young son. Blah 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 blah.
Tony.
Can't we all just get along?
But you just said we're all different, but you want us all to get along. That's very different.
We've always been different. We've always been different.
We've always had assholes.
And we've never gotten along.
We've gotten along better We've gotten along a lot better than we are now.
Because you know why? Because listen.
Go back home.
Because listen, psychologically, this is what is happening. We are driven, absolutely driven, and I don't care who you are. I don't care how much church or temple you go to. I don't care how holy you think you are or how benevolent you think you are. You are driven by your primal instincts. And your primal instincts are basically, I want it now. Well, what's the song? I want it now.
I want it now, Queen.
And I want it all. But that's what drives us. And this great social experiment that we watched, which was, and people were complaining. Look at what people were complaining about. Oh my God, I got to be socially distanced. You're taking everything away from me. Think about your 5-year-old, your 4 or 5-year-old, and you put them in their room. You tell them you need to go to your room. What do? They cry, they scream, they tell you
what you're saying, but we're not 4 or 5 years old.
Yes, Tony, we're okay. You didn't think we were
44 and we're 55.
But we're not. But
we should be.
We should be.
We should be,
but we're not.
That's my point.
That's my point. I get it from a 4-year-old. Year, I've lost all faith in humanity.
I haven't lost faith in all humanity.
Not all humanity, most humanity.
Yeah.
But
I even had a guy apologize. He's like, "Dude, I'm sorry,
nice.
I didn't see you. I didn't see you standing up here. We would have hurried up a little bit." I said, "No, you're
okay,
cool."
Well, there you go.
He was in a suit. I saw him at church.
But there you go. There you go. But it's
he's like, had I known, I would have asked you just to sit with us, And I was like, no, I said, it's fine. We're good. I mean, we're fine. We had a good time. It was more time outside the house, and
I'm telling you, it's going to take a while for people to get back to.
I don't understand why everyone's so. I mean, and
yes,
to your point, because you're explaining it to me, so I don't want you to re-explain it. I just thought that we'd all be so happy to get back out and do things again. Well, and no one seems like they're happy.
I did too. I'm not saying
irritable. Everyone's so irritable. I'm like, we're finally getting back out again. We're going to ball games and we're starting fights. I'm like, dude, it's been a year and a half since I've seen a baseball game, and I got some dude behind me throwing punches, and I'm like, dude, chill out.
You're using anecdotal examples and saying everybody, but it's not.
Well, we broad brush here.
Yes.
That's what we do. That's how you get your point across.
Listen, it is. It is. You're
all
seeing it.
Well,
okay, so that's good. So that's good. You're seeing what you are seeing is you're right. You're seeing the people who don't know how to handle their freedom. Yeah. They don't know how to handle their freedom, and they're they're going to get it all. They're going to get all of it. They're going to have their beer now. They're going to go first in line. They're going to do all this sort of stuff because you know why. And this is it. This is entitlement. This is the. You took it away from me, whoever you is. It doesn't matter. It could be your parents, your boss, or whatever. You took it away from me, and I didn't deserve to have it taken away from me, and so I'm going to get it back.
I'm going to spend as much time as I can to do it.
So I can see that where I think we've always had entitled people, but because of the pandemic, people that are not usually entitled are now entitled.
It's all mass. Like, that's the thing. The thing about the pandemic that is so trippy to me is it didn't affect only these people. Mm-hmm. It affected everybody. Now in different ways. But so what you get is this mass response. Mm-hmm. You get, and not everybody was responding exactly the same way, but you're getting the mass response. I at the big box stores, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever, you would think that we're under some sort of, people they're not hoarding, but everybody's buying all this stuff.
Because they got money. There's so much money out there right now. It's
Well, because they've
amazing.
been sitting on not spending it.
Yeah, I know.
That was
and they're
interesting.
getting, they're getting the gov to pay for a lot
There
of
was
it.
an interesting concept in that movie last night again, where he asked the character that was played by Michael B. Jordan he asked him who won World War II, and he said The Economist. The Economist won World War II. When we started making it, united people because we had a enemy that we united against, and we spent money and we made equipment and things like that. It was a very, very
interesting
interesting
though. But
thing.
you know what's interesting? Because I was just thinking, I was going to say 9/11. You know, I was going to say
Yeah,
no,
9/11.
but again, to our society, we all unified except for we turned on those in our melting pot that were Muslim, that were not uniformly, but we did. We turned absolutely against. Instead of embracing the people in our community, what we did is what we always do. In the World War II, Japanese internment camps, right? We put everybody who's Japanese, we put you in a camp just in case you could be. So even when we unite, we can't completely unite because it goes back to the same thing. We are beings who are driven by fear. We're driven by desire. And basically, those are the two survival mechanisms. And the problem that we have is we have not figured out completely as a society that we do better in we still think of a zero-sum game, right? I win, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
You have yet to figure out as a society is that I can win and you can win.
Yeah.
And so that's
It reminds me a little bit of the movie Broken from Michael Douglas. Do you remember that movie where he
Yes.
just goes off and
Yes.
you're rooting for the guy because he's right. He's walking to McDonald's or whatever the thing. He's like, why does my burger look like this? And he's just pissed off.
yes.
But it's like he finally got back out again in the world and realized that there are slugs and nasty people out there that aren't compassionate towards. Everyone just needs to chill out. Just chill out.
Why don't you say, yeah, you
Everybody's pushing. Everyone just needs to chill out, be patient. And that's the other thing, as I think what's happening, is we went from having empty streets to everything is just. I'm surprised we haven't had more. Well, we've had drive-bys too. I mean, we're having drive-bys left and right. I'm surprised we haven't had a lot more road rage. I'm surprised there's not been a shooting on 280. I'm not kidding you, because now at 2:00 on a Thursday afternoon, it is gridlock on 280, and we're not used to that. We're used to. Just
I got
flying
pissed. I
down.
had to go somewhere downtown. And I'm like, what's with all these people on the road?
It's crazy.
They're all going back to work. Everyone's going back to work.
But that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing 70%
Yeah,
of people are
right.
staying home.
No,
I
but-
mean, where are these people
no,
coming
these
from?
are all we went from zero. It doesn't need. We went from 0 people going to work to 30% of people going to work.
And the lights are all messed up. And I don't know.
When is she
Potholes.
ending unemployment? Do you know, the governor?
What's that?
When is she ending the unemployment?
I think she already did she?
You mean she got rid of
You mean
unemployment?
the extra unemployment?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, I
that-
thought she
that-
just
I think
ended
that's
unemployment.
done.
Is it
Yeah,
gone
it's
already?
done. It's because the emergency's over.
Yeah.
It's all gone. Look, we have,
Good. Go back to work.
governmentally we have no more pandemic. We have no more pandemic, and there's no emergency, so we're fine.
Yeah.
So we're
It's all back-
good.
It's all back to normal.
And
now.
she's running again.
I'll deal with it.
You see that?
She is running.
She's running again.
She's great. I love her.
She's Meemaw.
Like grandma.
Oh my God,
She can say and do whatever she wants.
she is like out of central casting.
Yeah.
Like if you said to someone on the West Coast,
Yeah, that
Des-
draw
describe
she has.
if you said to someone on the West Coast, you said, you know what? How would you envision a female governor? Because you have to tell. How would you envision a female governor of Alabama who's not young? I would give you that. Was
Bro,
it?
she nails it.
Oh, she's so
She's
good,
nailed it.
and the hair's
She's
white. You
legalizing
know who she looks
marijuana.
like?
She's like, that's the cool thing.
You know who
is
she
based
kind of
on
looks
what-
like? Just a little bit, Barbara Bush.
A little bit.
If Barbara Bush had, oh, by the way, your favorite person, did you see Joe Biden?
What about
Joe Biden had, she was wearing lavender.
She's rocking.
She was wearing lavender. She had a lavender, like, satiny silk mask. Jill Biden looks good in a mask.
I want to see her naked.
What do you think?
I don't think I'd ever
listen,
say that.
I'm going to ask
How
you.
old is she? 70?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's close.
So let me ask you this: Melania Trump, beautiful, gorgeous, right? Absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, I don't think many people would say she's not.
Yeah.
But and even when she had a mask on, she was beautiful. But like when you see Joe Biden, and listen, this is not politics. We were not. This is you and I talking about women.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is probably at least 20 to 25 years older than Melania.
least.
At least
She's 70.
Okay. Joe Biden looks has a beauty and an attraction that Melania didn't. Like Jill Biden looks good in a mask.
Jill Biden would
What
be.
is it?
If I had a chance to go out with either one of them and have a cup of coffee, just a cup of coffee, I would go with Jill Biden.
But do you think it's because Melania?
Because I'd have a conversation with Jill.
Well, do you think because Melania feels intimidating just by her look? I mean, she might be a lovely
She's
person.
Russian, right? I think maybe because of her accent. I don't know. She just looks like she wouldn't move.
But do you think
Like,
that
even
we just
intimately, I think
no? But do you think we are misunderstanding her because of like the way she is? This is the shy.
The other thing is Melania wasn't really, as a first lady, really wasn't out there as much.
No.
As the only stories we saw was when she changed the Christmas trees at the White House. and was she going to wear stuff that was too
She looked
revealing?
good when she was on African Safari. Did you see the interview that she did?
Yeah.
She was in her safari stuff.
Yeah.
No, but Jill Biden has this.
Nothing against her. I'm sure she's a great gal, and she has to put up with Donald. So, and by the way, they're still married. For all you knuckleheads out there saying that he's just going to leave
Even
and
with
be
his
gone,
pants on
now
back?
he's wanting to run for Secretary of State or something.
He is or she is.
No, he is. He wants to run in 2022. He ain't going away.
Did you see his pants on backwards? Were they on backwards or not? Did you see that?
No, I think they were just old man pants.
No, they were on backwards because the inseam, the seam was up the front. The butt seam was up the front.
Maybe he had to go number 2 that day, not number 1.
Oh, he's an efficient guy because he's an efficient business
He's
guy.
like, I think I'm good today. I took my prostate medicine. I don't think there's no incontinence today, but maybe in the backside.
Is it a quick release through pressure?
Yeah. Hey, I want to do some birthdays today. I want to bring this up because, and I know this is a topical show, and so
Because you forgot my
when you're
birthday?
watching
Do you want
this-
to do this on TV because you forgot my birthday? My birthday was on June 1st. Mm-hmm. It was on June 1st.
Yeah, at least my 14-year-old son let me know it was his birthday, so I know to celebrate it. Yeah, for people who missed it, Dr. Josh had a birthday. Was it last Tuesday?
Yep.
And
Your priest, you forgot the
He came
priest.
in, did the entire show.
Yeah.
We looked at each other. He got up, walked out, and then 2 days later, I found out it was your birthday
On social media.
on social media, and I'm like, and then when I texted you, you wouldn't respond to me. I was like, was it your birthday?
I responded.
Why didn't you tell me? No, you didn't. You said on the way. You didn't respond to me.
Because you yell at me when I'm late.
You said on the way. Yeah, I know. And you were late again. I was like, okay. So
See, look
we
how
had this
angry-
whole thing on
look
Fox
how
6.
angry you are
I'm
still.
still not over it yet, but you're not getting anything. I'm not going to get. I would have gotten you a nice birthday gift, but screw you. If you don't tell me on the day of, I can't
wanted
do
a
it for you.
cameo from Joe Biden.
But I know when your wife's birthday is now.
When is it?
You let me know. July 15th,
No, it's 11th.
11th, July 11th.
Now he's running around asking people that he knows. When's your
When's
birthday?
your birthday?
May 12th.
You already missed it.
Yeah.
Well, I missed yours because
He doesn't know. You
That's
don't
I was here.
I see you twice a week. I see him every day.
I was here on my birthday. The day I was May 12th.
And we wish you
landed
happy
on it.
birthday that day.
But
didn't
you're
we?
not on social media, are you?
I'm on Instagram.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
you're not. You
Facebook.
see, you
That's
got to
not-
get on the
that's
Facebook.
That's not social media.
If you
That's
get on the
Facebook.
Facebook, it tells you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get on the Facebook.
The Facebook will tell you whose birthday it is. I don't even have to have it in my calendar. My mom. There's a slip. My wife.
Ooh, wow.
So my wife always gets mad because I can't remember my mom's birthday.
Yeah. You can't remember your mom's birthday?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's like December 11th or 13th.
Yeah.
But I don't worry because I always get her. I know it's either 11th or 13th.
Have you ever forgot your wedding anniversary?
I always forget if it's September 26th or 28th.
I always forgot mine was on the 28th or the 29th, but I knew it was on a Saturday because
but-
Alabama was playing Arkansas, so
So
I
I
can go
have it-
back and find
See,
it.
I have it on my ring. It's engraved, but I got two problems now. Now because I'm getting older, my knuckles are so fat that I can't go. Yeah, but here's the other problem. Once
You're retaining water.
I am a little edema. I'm a little bloated today. I don't know what it is.
Let me look at your ankles. Let me see your ankles.
My ankles are okay, but I'm feeling a little bloated. But here's the other problem: is when I get it off, it's engraved, but I can't see it. I can't see the number
Unless you
well
take it off,
enough to see if it's 26 or 8. But I don't have to worry about any of that. You know why? Because the Facebook tells me every day.
Doesn't tell you your wedding anniversary.
No. Oh, yeah. But it tells me whose birthday it is.
Mm-hmm.
It tells me whose birthday's coming up. And it tells me whose birthday I have missed. So I don't have to, I have no stress about that. You should just, all you need to do is look on the Facebook.
If you're an adult and not my family, I couldn't care less about your birthday.
Oh, no. See, that's my random acts of kindness.
Yeah. So Prince
get rid of
Prince would have a birthday today.
Oh, it's
Oh, I
Prince's
love
birthday.
Prince.
I love going back. You know, I like going back because we're gonna have. It's hard to believe because in October we're gonna celebrate the life of Eddie Van Halen, which is hard to believe it'll be a year. And I can't believe it's been a year. I like going back to people that we lost that we didn't expect,
Yeah.
and we're like, whoa, he would have been 63 today. I like to think, okay, what would he be doing at the age of 63? Probably the same thing he was doing at 62 because he wasn't doing a whole lot. He's still making music, and
he was that old. Like, I mean, it's tragic that he died. But see, I love Prince. I don't know.
Can we say he's probably one of the top 3 greatest musicians of all time?
Don't you think?
From what he did, I mean, the amount of instruments.
If Prince was white, no.
Okay.
I think we love black guitar players. I think we love.
He did more.
But he was a good guitar player. He wasn't one of the. He's not. I'm not talking about just his guitar. I'm talking about
everything.
Encompass.
No, I mean,
he did
I'm
rock,
not.
He
No,
did
I'm not.
pop, he did.
He was
dance.
brilliant. No, I'm not. I'm not taking away from his brilliancy. When you say top 3, there's a
musicians, not guitar players.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
musicians.
I know there are
Vocally,
some musicians that I would say that maybe even better than him that we don't even know their names.
Well, sure,
because there's so many. So
of course,
to sit there and say top 3, I'd say top 10 for sure.
I mean, vocal range incredible.
I just think he was so different.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was black and he fronted a band and he could play guitar like that because we love Jimi Hendrix. We know Jimmy is the greatest guitar player of all time, and I don't think there's any dispute in that by anybody. I think he's the greatest guitar player of all time, and he died at the age of 27, so there's no telling how good he would have been. But because Prince came along, I think we really like black artists who play the guitar.
So
because there are not many of them. There's not many of them. Lenny Kravitz. There's not many of them.
That's true.
There's not.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Unless you want to go back to the blues. You want to go to Muddy Waters, Robert Johnson.
Well, that's what I was going to
But
ask
I mean,
you.
for the most part, primarily, there are a lot more white guitarists than are black guitarists. But I mean, I'm not taking away from his brilliance. I think he was one of the greatest guitarists we've ever had.
What about just artist as a overall artist?
I mean, he was the artist formerly known as Prince.
Well, I
mean,
know.
he was the artist, right?
Because he played drums, he played piano,
He played
everything.
everything.
The thing about Prince I thought was so interesting is before his death, I thought he figured it out. I thought we knew he was quiet, introverted.
Yeah.
We knew that he had to have his posse with him. He would not do any interviews unless he had 12 people with him, which I get. You're insecure. I get that.
Yeah.
When you're on stage, you're in your house. You can do whatever you want. The crowd's so large, it's like playing in front of one. I understand all that stuff.
He understands that, by the way.
I get that.
From his personal experience.
I do get that. I understand that. We did a whole show last week about anxiety and,
Yeah, it
and
was Naomi Osaka. Yeah,
I get
yeah.
that because when you're playing your game and you're in the middle of something,
That's right.
You're oblivious.
Well, and it's different.
It's not even people sitting in their underwear in the crowd. You're oblivious anyone even exists when you're in the zone. I get that. Basketball players, NASCAR drivers,
well,
are like that.
and doing the public stuff is different. It's not
But
the same.
of all the people in rock and roll, hip hop, rap, whatever you want to call it, of all the people I thought would have never died from a drug overdose would have been Prince.
Really?
I thought he had it together.
You really?
He seemed very.
He was cool. He figured it out. He got through the crap. He didn't deal with the paparazzi. He was. I thought for sure it'd be like Taylor Swift ODing.
What did he OD on?
It was prescription stuff. I don't know if he. I don't know if he had any illicit
Was it a
stuff in the
combination
system.
of things?
Yeah, it was a combination of things, and I thought
So
he
was
had
it
some
an
sort of
Michael Jackson, not a surprise at all.
Why? Why Michael Jackson? Not surprised that he OD'd.
Because his body went through so many changes. He was bizarre. He was strange, and I think he was.
Well, you would say Prince was a little.
Yeah, but Michael Jackson, there were too many weird things going on with him, and he had too many people reaching and grabbing him. Prince, for the most part, was very quiet. I mean, he was in his Paisley Park thing, and no one messed with
But
Prince.
then maybe that was part
There
of
was
the
stuff in
problem.
Michael Jackson every single day in the Star
Yeah, no,
magazine.
sure.
There was nothing about Prince because Prince was unaccessible. You couldn't get a touch with Prince if you wanted to. He didn't do interviews. Prince didn't appear on anything. I was watching some late night show on CNN. It's the story of late night, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I've
it's
seen
on
it.
8 o'clock on Sunday nights. He only did one talk show in his entire career. You know,
Yeah.
A lot of guys like that are very shy when it comes to when they're not on stage.
He's
when they're out of
incredibly
their
shy.
element, they're Michael Jackson was really shy.
Absolutely
off stage.
painfully shy.
Yeah.
And so that really surprised me when he died. I was like, really? I mean, that really was a shocker to me. That's like that.
Who? What other rocker? Well, Taylor Swift.
I think Whitney Houston was a surprise. I mean, I know
Whitney Houston was not a surprise at all because of Bobby
with
Brown.
the reality stuff, you could see the downfall.
She was
like
done.
Prince. You couldn't. There was no downfall to watch.
I could have predicted her death.
You would have predicted her death. He does. He knows
Remember the
things.
stage thing she did when she got booed off the stage? She sounded so horrible.
Oh,
She
yeah,
looked terrible.
that's
There's all
it,
the pictures of her arms are hanging down.
Did
She
you know,
was
by
on
the way,
nose.
Sheila E. Did you see yesterday? Yesterday was the 37th anniversary of Sheila E.'s first album.
Yeah, she was a rocker.
She still goes.
Yeah.
Although I watched her now.
She ain't the same.
Well, no, she's playing the drums, but like she got like it's like Ozzy. She's got 4 other drummers around her.
Yeah, I don't think Willie Nelson will ever. How old is Willie Nelson?
106.
I think he's close to 90. I think he just had a birthday. I think he's close to 90.
He still tour, like he still does tours, right?
He still does. He does the short versions of stuff. My old radio partner Jay Barker tells the story where him, Willie, and Sarah were going to do something. I think it was for the American Music Awards or maybe the Country Music Awards, and they were going to do a duet together. And they practiced like one time, and she's like, "I'll do the harmony. You do it, blah 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 blah." And so he got up there and he sang the first line, and then she was supposed to sing the second line, and he sang over her, and so she just kind of backed off.
Because it's Willie Nelson.
Exactly. And then afterwards, but there goes to show that if you smoke a lot of weed, you live a long time. Tommy Chong will be at like 108 when he dies.
That's good genes.
It is good genes.
It's good genes because it will. Keith Richards.
But I also think staying stoned for most of your life makes you oblivious to a lot of the hurt and pain that goes around you, and I think you just live in your own little world. I believe that. Like if you wake and bake and you smoke dope every single day,
and I
think you're oblivious to everyone else's pain, and you're just kind of in your own little world once in a while.
Well,
I'm not talking about
you don't have the stress that a lot of people have. It blocks all that stuff.
Well, no, but the difference is with Willie Nelson too. You don't have to pay your bills. Like, I mean, you got other.
He doesn't pay his bills.
Well, no.
The feds came after him. He almost spent time in prison for it.
That's true. But you got what I'm saying is if you wake and bake and you don't have the means that Willie Nelson had, and plus you don't have people. You don't have people going, it's time. Come on, man.
Yep.
Sing.
Yep.
Sing.
Yeah.
Plus, he's singing the same old song. He's singing the same songs.
Yeah, the thing about Willie Nelson is he was never a great singer anyway. And so now he can sing and it sounds like Willie Nelson.
What is that? So tell me about that. You're in the whole music industry thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm just using this example. Well, Jimmy Buffett. I'm just using an example.
Jimmy Buffett's not a good singer.
He's a terrible singer. I've seen him live. Things like So who are poor singers? Just some rockers.
Bob
Dylan.
Stevie Nicks, I think, has got one of those. I don't think she's a great singer, but I think she sounds so different, and you recognize her voice, and so Taylor Swift is not a good singer.
Okay,
she's not. I don't.
How about a bad singer?
I don't think Paul McCartney's a good singer.
Really?
No.
Okay.
If you listen to Paul McCartney stuff, I'm saying he can carry a tune and he can sing. I'm not saying, but I mean, he's not known as a great singer. He's not an Aretha Franklin or
Neil
Stevie
Diamond.
Wonder.
What about Neil Diamond?
No,
Neil Diamond was a hell of a singer.
Hey.
Neil Diamond could
sings a lot.
No, hey.
He does a little bit. Forever in Blue Jeans, yes.
Hey.
Never Buy Me Roses or Never Bring Me Flowers.
He talked through a lot of stuff, but I think that was by design because he kind of talked through a lot of his music. He could sing, though.
Oh, yeah.
He can't sing now.
He's got Alzheimer's or Parkinson's.
It
was bad when he did the country album.
There's a lot of, there's a lot of singers that I never thought Lionel Richie was a very good singer, but I've been told that I'm way off there.
Yeah, you're way off.
I mean, I listened to some
on
of
American Idol.
Like the Commodore stuff was really good, but the later stuff is.
He's on American Idol. He's judging.
I know. He's got a really big head.
You know,
he's how big his head is?
He's on Tuskegee.
I know.
Guy, yeah.
He's one of the
we like Lionel Richie. We don't like Lionel Richie. I like Lionel.
Is it Lionel Richie or Lionel Richie?
Lionel Richie.
Lionel's the Trains. Anyway, I was surprised by the Prince thing. Not surprised by Whitney Houston. Not surprised by some rock and rollers. You're like, I get it. I shouldn't say this, but I think Demi Lovato's in trouble.
Is Bruce a good singer?
Lindsay Lohan though. I mean,
Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen is
unique.
He's about a 6.5, a 7 maybe. He's a great singer. He gives it all he can. He gets the most. I'll tell you something about Bruce Springsteen. He gets the most out of what's been given.
All right,
to him.
so let's flip it.
Which
flip it.
Yeah. And again, I think you all know this. When you see somebody live in concert, as opposed to on record,
right?
That's what I want. That's what I want to see. Because there's some singers, quite frankly, that I think are really, really good singers, and then I hear them live, and I'm like, okay, that. And sometimes it's the mixing, but for the most part, like that's what surprised me about Crosby, Stills, and Nash. They are incredible singers. Yeah, they can sing.
The Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles.
You can't tell.
Don Henley is a hell of a singer. Yeah, Glenn Frey was a hell of a singer.
You can't tell the difference.
Joe Walsh is a good singer.
Yeah, Joe Walsh is an interesting guy because he sings like something's not right. Joe Cocker.
It's just you have singers like Axl Rose and two different spectrums, but Axl Rose and Mariah Carey that push their voices so hard early that they have nothing left by the end of their career. You know what I'm saying?
So Mariah Carey can't sing now?
No, I saw her in Vegas and
it's bad. bad because.
Well, what about Paul Stanley? We played that Paul Stanley.
Oh, that's what I was
Paul
thinking
Stanley
about.
could
Yeah.
sing his arse off. I mean, I was like, I never knew he's singing Soul Station. I'm sitting there going, I mean, he can sing, hold notes out. I'm like,
Men can
what?
still sing. I saw them in
But
Vegas.
Who's
Paul,
that?
Boys to Men.
Boys
They
to
can
Men?
still sing.
But do you think I still don't understand the whole Paul Stanley thing? Do you think they just said, "Look, we know you can sing, but just," or do you think his background singing is what? Do you think?
I'm sure it has a little bit. I mean, it was produced. I haven't seen him live, but I mean, he can carry a note, and he's 70 years old too.
Beth? I know that pisses you off every time.
He may have said, "I ain't singing that crap. I ain't singing that song." Gene, you got this one. Sometimes I always think that's really interesting because, like, Pete Townsend sang a couple, Keith Richards sang "Happy." I always think it's interesting when a guy doesn't normally sing in a band.
And they give him the
sings like it happened in Journey a couple of times where they sing some songs kind of like, and then the lead guy will end up taking it out. You know, I got this part. You can't hit this note. I got this part. But I always think it's interesting whenever a guy that normally doesn't sing in a band ends up singing a song. It's kind of like they give him a little token. It's like Ringo singing a Beatles song. You can have this one.
Do you think that when artists point the mic to the audience to sing, it's the part that they can't sing?
Well, yeah,
Absolutely.
you've said that, and they do it more as they get older,
If
right?
you go to a Marshall Tucker concert now, you're singing all the music.
Really?
They give you the lyrics when you walk through the gate. Here's our set list tonight. Here's our set list. We're singing "Hurt," a love song number 3. Yeah. Be ready.
It's like just a big karaoke.
They
concert.
don't sing anything, and they always do the best parts of the song. They're like, it's not even the background singing. It's like the main line. So I'm like,
funny.
Yeah. Someone like George Benson, though, is a great story. If you want to read about George Benson, I love that we're talking about this kind of stuff. No.
Okay.
Billy
George
Idol
Benson, his first album, Masquerade, was an instrumental. It was one of the greatest blues albums I own. And then someone came along and said, you should try singing. He's like, I can't sing.
Right.
Stevie Ray Vaughan never sang his stuff until someone said, you should sing. And he's like, I can't sing. And next thing you know, he's singing his ass off.
Really?
Yeah, George Benson was a fantastic singer, or is a fantastic singer. I would give anything to see him alive again, but I'm afraid I'd be really disappointed. I'm at the point now where if I get a chance to go see like Van Morrison, I'm going to be really, because there's nothing. Gordon Lightfoot played like at the BJCC concert hall like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine was like, we got to go see him. And I was like, because I really like, if you could read my mind, and it was horrible.
It's when they get moved from the main to the intimate setting, that's when you always got to be a little nervous. Like when they get moved from
James
the main.
Taylor does it. Steely Dan does it. Some smaller bands.
I saw Train at Work Play. It was 250 people. It was a great concert. That guy can sing. The lead singer.
I'd rather pay double the price and get them in a small setting than see them in front of.
It's when they have a residency in Vegas. That's when you know it's downhill. Or they're on Dancing with the Stars. That's when you know it's going downhill.
Or the Masked Singer.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's really rock bottom.
Yeah, that's Donny Osmond. That's Donny Osmond singing right there.
I used to love some Donny Osmond.
That's.
I don't know. When I saw Taylor Hicks out at Bally's, the first year he was out there, he was in the casino. Bally's has this area where you walk into the casino and there's this giant curtain that goes around, and that's the bar area where he played.
Right.
So you could hear his concert while you were on the floor playing blackjack, and then the last song he'd pull the curtain back and
that's
the
cool.
whole band. And
but that makes sense.
I was
for him.
really messed up. I was with my dad and my brother.
Right.
And and we went to see him. It was one of the best concerts I've ever
Why?
seen. He did a lot of covers. We were recognized. Obviously, my dad just thought, oh my gosh, there's a star recognizing me. I want to thank Dick Curry for coming out. He just, his head almost exploded. It was like the best moment of his life. And Taylor was so cool, and we were so gracious towards him for what he did. We went out and had dinner and spent the night.
Okay, but why was it good? Just because of that?
It was an hour and 45 minutes. It felt like it was unscripted. He had a full band. They played all kinds. He played all bunches of original stuff. It was fantastic. It was a top 5 concert. Now, when he moved from Bally's and went to, I think he played New York, he got a residency there.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're going to love the show. It's more lights. It's more Vegas.
It's too much.
It was 45 minutes. Everything was cut to 3.5 minutes long. It was a Vegas style show.
Yeah.
And it was still, Taylor was still great. Don't get me wrong. But it was so raw and so real. And it just was the Bally's show was great. The New York show was more like a, hey, we got another show in 15 minutes. Let's wrap it up, guys, so we can get off, get our water, and get back on the stage again. But the first show was incredible. It was fantastic.
What's the best concert you've
He actually retweeted the picture of my son. I need to send another picture of my son out to me.
And you
By the way, happy 14th plus one day. I'm going to send out a picture of my son every day.
Okay, so go up. What's the best concert you've ever been to?
Best concert was Steely Dan at the BJCC Concert Hall.
Is that just because you love Steely Dan? I'm not a Steely Dan fan.
Yeah, I mean, I was with a buddy of mine who's a big Steely Dan fan. I asked Jay Wilson for a pair of tickets the night before, and he's like, I got you. And we showed up. We were on the second row, and it was just a perfect, my chemicals in my brain were perfect that night, not to mention some other chemicals. I had the perfect buzz going. I didn't get too tired. I didn't get too crazy. Great
Why do you
seats.
like Steely
The concert
Dan?
was unbelievable.
Why do you like Steely Dan?
From a technical standpoint, the most technically sound band in all of rock and roll. And I'm not saying that because I think so. Yeah. Other bands use Steely Dan's music for their sound checks.
Yeah.
That's how good Steely Dan is. And the band was just super tight. And My Old School is one of my favorite songs. And they're like asking for songs. You know, what do you want to hear? And I'm like, My Old School. I was saying, I wasn't trying to be that overzealous fan. But I was like, My Old School.
They were taking requests?
Yeah. They were like, what do you want to hear? Just screwing with people.
Yeah.
I was like, My Old School. And Fagan looked at me. He's like, and I was like,
Did he look at you?
And so they played a song, and then I was in the second row.
Oh,
he was
okay.
right. He was there. He was like sitting there. And
Jeez.
He's like, and I was like, please play My Old School.
Come on, Fagan.
He's like, and then he did it. He did it again. I was like, damn it. I can't believe they're not going to play that song. And then the third time, I was like, can you please? And he looked at me and went,
play Deacon Blues.
And he hit that.
They play Deacon Blues.
Yeah.
Anytime I go to a bar and they have a live band, I always shout out, play some Rush. And they always look at me like,
Now that's kind of interesting. Because you can't, there's a lot, there's all kinds of things you can cover.
Yeah.
You can't cover Rush.
No, Rush is hard to cover.
You can't.
No, and it's uncool to say Freebird anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't say Freebird. That's the other people like it.
Well, but everybody, when you're here, everyone covers Sweet Home Alabama. Because you just have to.
You have to.
What's your favorite what's your best concert?
I was thinking, now here's what's really weird. One of the best concerts I ever been to, there's three.
This is going to be good.
No, Def Leppard was unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
Which one?
It was Hysteria. Okay. It was just, it was so, it was rock, it was lights, it was, and I actually went to Diver Down, Van Halen, Diver Down, but that was different because musically, it just, the guitars was, but I'm going to tell you, one of the best concerts I've ever been to, I found myself at the Purple Rain Prince concert. Right. Dude, I had a girlfriend who was just all Prince, and here I am, look at me, this white Jewish guy, and I am on the floor at the Prince concert, and I have every fiber in my being is like, you shouldn't be here. This is not you. I don't know. But he came out, and this is, I didn't know much about it, and it, between the guitar and Sheila E. playing with him, I was entranced. Yep. Like I never expected it to be, that good. So I would say Prince is one of the best concerts, followed by Def Leppard.
Do you remember too? And I think it's changed a lot, or else our hearing is going. Because when we used to want to go to a concert, there were two things that were going to happen. First of all, you were going to be wearing your jersey shirt the next morning to let everyone know you went to the concert. And the second day is you weren't going to hear for 3 days. I can't remember the last time I went to.
I think they've turned it down.
I went to an AC/DC concert about 10 years ago, and it was so loud. The next couple of days, it was like. But I'll tell you another show that I saw that was really good. We should keep rolling this because it's going to blow you away. I went and saw Barry Manilow.
Yeah, okay, well, if we're going there, yeah.
And I was like, and I wanted to go just because I used to listen to some Barry Manilow. Okay. That's why I didn't get laid till I was 22.
I'm holding safe
I heard
space
Mandy. I Made It Through the Rain.
Yeah.
Copacabana was kind of like whatever.
No, yeah.
But I wanted to go just to experience it.
Yeah,
I wanted to see all these 65-year-old women throwing panties up on stage. Yeah. And this is before he came out, by the way, because no one knew he was gay.
I don't know how to
Anyway, hell of a show. Tom Jones' birthday today, by the way. Tom Jones.
Is he dead?
No, it's not unusual.